Insurtech Story Podcast, the platform to spread knowledge on insurance innovation, digital disruptions, and entrepreneurship. Our website, insurtechstory.com, and we are available on Spotify, Apple, Google, and Amazon Music. Today, we will discuss on the topic, the power of synergy in modern insurance. And for now, I'm delighted to welcome our guest, Luca Sauerwein, who is the commercial director at LifePal based in Indonesia, which is recognized as one of the prominent insurtech companies in Indonesia. His responsibilities encompasses the facilitation of business expansion and the broadening of the organization's presence beyond the online insurance marketplace. This entails strategically managing partnership as well as establishing new distribution channels, which includes implementation of offline and agency sales. Before assuming the current role, Luca occupied a senior leadership role at Allianz Indonesia. In his capacity as the head of transformation and distribution, he assumed the responsibility of overseeing the bank assurance and automotive business units. Further, he played a vital role in spearheading transformation initiatives and introducing novel solutions and innovative products tailored for Allianz operations in the region. So, Luca, a warm welcome to the show.
Thank you, Surya, for having me. Great to be here.
So, Luca, jumping on to the agenda for the day, very curious to understand, since you are in the partnership domain for the insurance business, why collaboration between insurtech startups and traditional insurers is crucial in today's market? And can you provide some example of successful, insurtech partnerships and collaboration between startups and traditional insurers?
Sure, that's a very interesting topic for me to cover today, Surya. Thanks for the question. So let me start off by covering the main areas that I see for collaboration, and then I'll give you some examples around those. I see essentially 5 key areas when it comes to collaboration between insurtech startups and traditional insurers, and why these are crucial. First of all, it's in the space of innovation and agility. Insurtech startups are known for the innovative ideas, cutting-edge technologies, and agile approaches to problem solving. By partnering with traditional insurers, insurtech startups can essentially gain access to a vast pool of industry knowledge, established customer bases, and resources.
Right.
On the other hand, traditional insurers can leverage the fresh perspective and innovative solutions offered by these insurtech startups to streamline their operations, improve customer experience, and stay competitive in the rapidly evolving market. On second hand, I also see collaboration between insurtech and traditional insurers being very important when it comes to the development of customer-centric solutions. Insurtech startups often cater to specific niche markets or address pain points that traditional insurers may have overlooked. By working together, they can create tailored insurance products and services that meet the diverse and evolving needs of today's customers. On third note, it's also about improved efficiency and cost savings. Insurtech solutions often leverage advanced technology and automation, and they help to streamline processes and reduce administrative burdens. On the other hand, traditional insurers, with their vast customer base and industry expertise, can help scale up and implement this technology effectively, leading to improved efficiencies and cost savings for both parties. As part of efficiency and cost savings, maybe also worth to note, I would also add that the collaboration between insurtech startups and traditional insurers can often yield more accurate underwriting and risk assessments. This is primarily by leveraging on data and technical advancements. As a result, insurance can make better informed decisions, leading to improved profitability and risk management. The fourth key area of collaboration I see is when it comes to expanding market reach. So this is predominantly likely the most important when it comes to business perspective. In fact, insurtech startups often have a strong digital presence and can reach previously untapped markets or demographics. And by partnering with the traditional insurers, it's allowing insurtech startups to access a broader customer base and also gain credibility in the market. At the same time, yeah, please.
Yeah, so do you see much of this happening in the Asian region?
Yes, so specifically for this expanding market reach, I can give you some example also very related to the Indonesian market. In fact, by this collaboration between Insurtech startups and traditional insurers, there has been much broader market reach in the sense that most insurance companies, typically here in the Indonesian market, may not even have a direct channel or any online presence at all. And by tying up with Insurtech startups, they have been able to cater for a new audience and tap into a market that they didn't have before. So in the Indonesian market specifically, we have now the prominent Insurtechs tying up with traditional insurers and expanding the market reach, both online when it comes to aggregator or insurance marketplace model, and also with additional initiatives like offline channels.
Right. Yeah. So, of course, partnerships, especially, for an exchange of take know-how and capital requirements, and of course, the reach of the market. Where do you see the challenges that Insurtech startups primarily sees or faces, and traditional insurers faces when entering into such partnerships or deals?
Yeah, so some of the challenges I've seen, and it's primarily on arising from differences in organizational culture and resistance to change. Somehow from the traditional insurer, and on the other hand, when it comes to cooperating with insurtech startups, it's when it comes to the technological integration and also the regulatory complexities. Just to give you some examples. When it comes to the traditional insurers and integrating with insurtech startups, often we still see some of these traditional players being occupied with an upgrade of their legacy systems, each with their own complexities and implications. Right. While on the other hand, when it comes to the perspective of an insurtech startup, there is some certain deal of impatience, in wanting to get things done and implemented right now, and ideally with a one-fits-all solution. Although the joint roadmap with a traditional insurer may take a longer time towards execution, and it might also require some level of customization between one insurer and another. So essentially, there is speed requirements from one hand, and on the other hand, it's more of how the agenda, let's say, of the insurtech startup comes to play for the traditional insurer.
Right. Yeah. So can you add some best practices for insurtech startups, and traditional insurers who are looking to foster successful collaboration?
Yes, so I would say the most important factor, I would say, is for a successful collaboration, it comes down to having a clear communication. And by that, I mean having an open and an honest dialogue to set the agenda and, the shared goals and expectations since the start. Often, the business strategies might not align. For instance, what we have experienced is that, when it comes to a traditional insurer, there might be a more prominent focus towards bottom line profitability, while on the other hand, you might have insurtech startup wanting to showcase a rapid growth and chase top line numbers. Right. So what is important at the end of the day is to have a mutual alignment and understanding from start and work together towards realistic targets in line with the interest of both parties. And when it comes to that, sometimes focusing on sustainable growth while maintaining a strong focus on cost, efficiencies, and portfolio management can be the differentiating factor on building, I would say, not only a long-lasting business but also a long-term partnership overall.
And where do you see the future outlook for this? I mean, especially if you focus on the Asian region, how do you see the couple of years? Or rather, what kind of benefits and opportunities that insurtechs can look for when it comes to partnership with big or incumbent insurers?
Yes, so that's a very interesting question. So for what I see here, especially in the Indonesian market, the trend is lately is being perceived as traditional insurance being more of a product provider, with the Insurtech players focus on expediting digitalization and streamlined distribution. But I also see the potential role for the Insurtech startups to act as a bridge for the betterment of the insurance industry as a whole. By that I mean that I see Insurtech startups as enablers. Although we may have gotten more used to associating the Insurtech startups as disruptors, I see a great deal of opportunities for Insurtech startups and traditional insurers working together. For instance, here today we still do not have a standardized car inventory price list across insurers for underwriting motor vehicles or visibility on historical claims. And on the other hand, with the Insurtech startups being active in the market with several insurance partners, I could see them playing a key and crucial role in connecting the dots and unlocking a shift towards open insurance eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. Just out of curiosity, if I have to understand why Insurtechs should, look at big insurers in terms of the expertise they have, or vice versa. So, why I'm asking this is to primarily address that why traditional insurers and Insurtechs must come closer or must look to have close collaborations, be it technology, be it with respect to personalizations, be it from the point of view of premiums, basing or risk assessment, and so on and so forth. So what would be that one why that they should be closer than ever before to make the insurance market much more, or rather the ecosystem much more fruitful in the coming years?
Okay, so when it comes to areas that we were discussing earlier in our discussion, for example, when it comes to efficiencies and cost savings, what we have experienced in the market is that the Insurtech startups have been able to support traditional insurers in doing basically innovative, providing an innovative approach, for example, to risk collection and underwriting. So, for instance, one example could be by rolling out a real-time survey for underwriting purposes of motor vehicle insurance, and that is shifting also towards the needs of the customer. So instead of sending a physical surveyor, now that process flow is essentially facilitated by the Insurtech startups, and they're able to provide that service from the customer hand by the mobile phone, essentially. When it comes to other challenges in the market that we were discussing earlier, like regulatory complexities, the traditional insurers basically have a great deal of knowledge about navigating through the strict regulatory framework and the right experience on basically what might be possible and not possible as it stands, given also their close ties with the regulator. And by collaborating with Insurtech startups, which may sometimes lack this expertise, they can also ensure that innovative solutions that Insurtech startups bring to the table are compliant with the relevant rules and regulation. Also, I would say when it comes to the digitalization agenda overall, the advantage for traditional insurers is that Insurtech startups essentially are a bit more daring as it stands here in the market at the moment to try out new initiatives, and that could also give the opportunity for the traditional insurer to try out new projects or initiatives more as a pilot project without having to set up new teams or new divisions specifically, because they essentially tie up with the Insurtech player to run it on their behalf. So that's some of the trends that we have observed here in the market, and that's where basically I see Insurtech startups and traditional insurers here in Indonesia working well hand in hand, because one is not excluding the other, but we're working hand in hand towards the same goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I think without partnership, you know, there's no other way that insurtechs and insurance companies can make a better future for insurance, right? Be it from the accessibility side or even from the social issues, such as making it more inclusive in products like, for example, life and health. So I think collaborations, partnership, and better access to each other expertise is the way forward for the insurance industry, be it in any other region, not just focused on Asia Pacific. So fantastic, Luca. Great discussion. Thank you for sharing your thoughts today, and a true delight to have you as a guest.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks again, Surya.
And lastly, to wrap this up, thank you for listening and see you at our next episode. Take care and stay safe. Goodbye for now.